Hi everybody, we apologise, we've neglected this project recently, too many other things to do, but now that we've got a lovely sunny winter day, we thought we would put together a video about all the animals in the garden, all the animal life. I take a very live and let live attitude towards everything in the garden. There's also a little bit of thinking behind it that says that diversity equals stability. It's sort of a basic fundamental principle of ecology. We have snowshoe hares, a large thriving family of snowshoe hares which we see quite regularly, who are also voracious destroyers of some of my favorite plants. And my approach there is just to put wire fences around anything I want to protect. We have skunks live under the porch. They're a little bit of a problem with the dog, but we learn to live with them. Animal life that people tend to focus on in a garden are the birds. I didn't used to hang out bird feeders. I thought that I would create a garden that was full of all the things that a bird population needs. And it wouldn't need to put out bird food. But I sort of broke down because it's so much fun to watch them on the bird feeder. I make bricks of homemade treats for the woodpeckers out of bacon grease, peanut butter and bird seed. And the students who share my garden with me, two of them are ornithologists, and they've kept a list, a very impressive list of all the birds that have been seen in the garden. There was a merlin in the yard this spring. I didn't see it, but we logged a merlin. I've had tufted titmice on the feeder for the first time. I've never seen them in this garden before. We had a Carolina wren, which was unusual. Otherwise, it's pretty much the regulars, cardinals, two kinds of nuthatches, all the chickadees in the world. The bird feeders are, of course, raided by squirrels. So birds, making a bird garden is really cool. You need so much more than just food. Of course there's berries and seed plants, and we've got those all over the garden, but they also need perching sites. They need dense cover for nesting sites. Piles of brush. There are lots of small birds that like to forage and hide in brush piles. They need display sites. They want places to perch where they can either hunt from or, do their mating displays. Leaving standing dead snags is very important. If I cut down a tree, I leave as much of the stump as possible. Seed sources, grasses, the late blooming things like asters have seeds that the birds like. All that makes for habitats for different kinds of birds. We also have snakes. We have 5 kinds of snakes. We've seen milk snakes twice. We see their cast-off skins more than we see the snakes themselves. Garter snakes are everywhere. They live under the rocks down by the compost pile. We've seen ringneck snakes, green grass snakes, and red belly snakes. We've seen all of those here at different times. There are all sorts of people who are horrified by snakes. I'm delighted to see them. They make me jump out of my skin every time I do see them. But they are really excellent members of the community of animals in a garden. They control slugs, and they're kind of fun to see around. Herpetology is my granddaughter's favourite subject. I met a very large and very terrifying snapping turtle by the compost heap last year. Haven't seen her since. We assume it was a female searching for a nesting site. A lot of salamanders. Not sure what they all are. I'm bad at identification, but we know we have blue-spotted salamanders. There's a pond in the back of my property that has been tagged by the vernal pool people as highly productive pollinators. Another thing that has suddenly become fashionable to worry about, an enormous population of bees and assorted pollinators in this garden. Fostering a huge population of diverse bugs, spiders, beetles is likely to produce a more stable and more interesting population. It also provides food for the birds. Don't kill anything, and everything else will come in and help themselves to what you didn't kill. Leave all well alone. Don't use any pesticides. The chances are quite good that you will have a stable population of creatures in your yard. You'll have a stable population of insects and all the predators that prey on them. And you won't need to use insecticides. Spiders, foster spiders, who catch spiders and put them out of the house and into the garden to keep them safe. We had a wonderful hatching of baby spiders on the mailbox one day. There's a nice spider that lives under the well that we go and visit occasionally when my granddaughter is here. So we take a very relaxed attitude towards pests. If something is really impossible to grow without a spray, I just don't grow it. There's so many other plants and so many other things you can put in a garden. Why bother with the ones that need all that kind of care? A garden is not just for plants. A garden is for the plants, and which is the base of it all, but then all the creatures that live in and on the plants that you grow. Treat your garden as an ecosystem that is full of all the interrelated things that live in the garden. You can get a lot more fun out of it than you would just by watching flowers grow. That's the way I like to think of my garden. Encourage you all to think of it. And since it is now approaching Christmas, this is an opportunity to say, thank goodness 2020 is nearly over. We hope to see everybody in the garden in the spring, and happy holidays to everybody.